You know, you go to the movies, they tell you shut off your cell phone. Well, Dave Chappelle is not leaving it in your hands. If you go to see his show, you're going to have to put your phone away in a special, like, high-tech little pocket or sock. It's something he's teamed up with a company called Yonder to do this, and the idea is he doesn't want people using their phones or on their phone at all while they're in his show.
This could change concerts. It could also change the media, because a lot of media gets their content from these cell phones at concerts and performances. So this is a big deal, and Dave joins us right now. Hey, Dave.
Hey, guys, how are you?
We're good.
We're good,
Thanks
man.
so much for joining us. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Tell us about this. This is so interesting. I mean, this is a true game changer.
You know what? It does. It makes a big difference. For a live show, you know, so many times you walk on stage, all you'll see is a sea of cell phones. People don't listen the same. It's like you can't just talk to the people in the room. It's like every time you say something on stage, you might be talking to a million people. So it makes everything much easier and better for me.
Dave, was there a particular, I know you're in Chicago right now, actually. You just did a series of shows there, right? You had a long run.
Yeah, it was great. It's like 15 shows.
So you've been using this thing there the whole time. I'm wondering, was there an incident that made you decide you wanted to try doing something like this? Was there one specific incident where you said, that's it, I don't want any more phones in my shows?
I don't know if it was one specific incident. Every time I bombed, I would end up.
That's hilarious. Dave, I'm kind of vague on this, but my understanding is this device basically will make it so that you can't dial out, you can't videotape, you can't do anything with the cell phone while you're inside the venue, and everybody can hold their phone, but they can't use their phone, and you have to actually walk out if there's an emergency and you need to make a call.
That is correct.
So,
that is correct.
So I'm just curious, you know, for people, there are a lot of people who, you know, multitask and all sorts of stuff is going on. Could this also interrupt the concert because people are walking in and out constantly?
I have not seen that happen. That hasn't been the experience since we started using this product. As a matter of fact, most people enjoy themselves more, I'd say. There's a couple people who freak out, who are like phone heads, and they try to tear the bags open.
So what is a prospect that this thing is going to catch fire and be used in many other venues, concerts, and whatnot?
You know, I don't know, man. I feel like for stand-up comedy, it's perfect. I don't know the musicians mind the cell phone recordings as much because it probably helps their business sometimes. You know, for comedy, we like the element of surprise, and if people know the jokes before you get to the city, it ruins the surprise. I'd rather tell them myself.
That's actually a really, I never really thought of that, but that's a good point, that the material is out there, it's out there.
I feel like it will take off, man. I don't think just in concerts. I can see this being used in like schools or other places where cell phones are an unwelcome distraction.
And actually, when you think about it, you'd get a moment where you could actually completely unplug from the rest of the world, which sometimes people are looking for anyway. And plus, they get entertained by Dave Chappelle while they're doing it.
And I used to see, like, early in my career, people used to see me and they'd be like, oh my God, it's Dave Chappelle. And they'd say stuff like, I wish I had a camera right now. I haven't heard someone say that in years. Like, everyone always has a camera, everyone always has a phone, and it's nice to just be able to do a show and know that the show is happening in the room, period.
Dave, I know you're in Spike Lee's new movie, Chirac. I'm curious what your feelings are about what's going on in Chicago right now. Now there's a federal investigation into the police department. Thoughts?
You know, the day that tape was released was the same day that these shows I was doing here was announced. And I considered canceling the shows out of respect, but then I talked to a friend of mine from Chicago who beseeched me not to cancel the shows and told me it was something that the city needs. And I personally think, regardless of what's going on, that the people in the city are displaying an enormous amount of character in the way they've been handling this, because it really is a horrific tragedy.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Listen, I got to say, since we have the opportunity to have you on, it has been such a pleasure, and we followed you over the years. Personally, I think you are a brilliant man.
Yo, man, thank you guys for being nice, and I'm glad to be on your show and not be in trouble this time.
Hey, continued success. Thank you, Dave.
You too, man. Be well.
You too.
All right.